Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the new topic which is related to this chapter 3 means current electricity. And today's our topic this is the potentiometer. Potentiometer, right? And this topic is very important for your theory and practical also, right? So here you have to see what is the meaning of the potentiometer. Potential means what? Simply this is the potential or potential drop, and meter means we can measure. So with the help of this device we can measure what potential difference, right? So here you have to see potentiometer means what? It is a device. It is a device which is used to measure. Which is used to measure EMF of cell. It is a device which is used to measure EMF of a cell, comma, compare or compare the EMF of cells or to find internal resistance of a cell, right? So this is the, it means it is a device which is used to measure EMF of cell, compare the EMF of the cells, and to find internal resistance of a cell. Here you have to see with the help of this one we can find out the EMF of cell, because it is what null method device is there, right? Due to the null method of device, easily we can calculate the EMF of any cell, right? Now after this one, what is the construction of or you can say what is the principle of potentiometer? Principle of potentiometer means what is the principle of potentiometer? So for principle of potentiometer, suppose this is one conductor is there, and in this conductor suppose constant current is flowing. What? In this conductor we are assuming that this is the constant current. So constant current I suppose is flowing. Constant current flowing, right? And it is having uniform cross sectional area, and it is having uniform cross sectional area, right? It means area of this wire, this is what uniform, right? These two things are there, means in that uniform current is flowing, and then after uniform means constant current is flowing, and second what okay, this is what having uniform cross sectional area. Then here by Ohm's law what we will get? V equal to what? IR, and you know R, this equal to what? Rho L by A. This we are having R equal to what? Rho L by A, right? So here I have to put V, this equal to what? I, and then in place of R we can put what? Rho L by A, right? So here you have to see when in this constant current is flowing, means this is the simple constant, and uniform cross sectional area means this is also the constant, and for a given uniform cross sectional area means resistivity, this is also constant, means this and this are what? Constant. So what we are saying that V, this is equal to K L, where K, this is the constant, and you can say that K equal to what? I rho upon A. So if K is constant, it means that what? V directly proportional to the, means potential drop, this is the directly proportional to what? Length of the conductor. So this is the principle of the potentiometer. When you are keeping the constant current and then a uniform cross sectional area, then length of the conductor is directly proportional to the potential drop, right? So principle is what? Ki for constant current and uniform cross sectional area, and for constant current and uniform cross sectional area, potential drop is directly proportional to length of conductor. Means what? Ki if you are to increase the length of the conductor, so with respect to that the potential or potential drop, this is what increases, right? So this is the about the potentiometer, and then after this is the principle of the potential. So after this one we are going to draw the graph length versus potential drop. Then after we will discuss the construction of the potentiometer. So here you have to see when you are going to draw the graph, since we are getting this thing V directly proportional to L, this we are getting that, right? So when you are going to draw the graph, suppose this is the x-axis, and then after this is the y-axis. Here this is the length, and then this is the V. Since potential drop are potentially directly proportional to the length of conductor, so graph is straight line, this we are getting that, right? And one thing you have to see that we are getting this V, this is equal to this we are written V directly proportional to L, and V this is equal to what? K L, this we are written already. So this is known as what? Constant, this proportionality constant, and this K is also known as the potential gradient. This is also known as what? Potential gradient, right? So let us define the potential gradient. After that we will discuss what is the construction of the potentiometer. So potential gradient, this we will get V by L, this we will get, right? So if L, suppose this is the one unit, this we are taking that 1 centimeter or 1 meter, then K equal to what? V. So potential drop per unit length of the conductor, this is known as what? Potential gradient. So potential drop per unit length is known as what? Potential gradient. Is known as potential gradient, right? So this is the, and if you want to write the SI unit of the potential gradient, so for SI unit here you have to see potential means this is the volt, and length this is the meter, means volt meter inverse, this is the SI unit of the potential gradient, right? Now after this potential gradient and graph of the L versus V, we are going to discuss the construction of the potentiometer. So for construction of potentiometer, so for the construction of potentiometer, one wooden board is required. This is the first one, wooden board, and on this wooden board nearly 4 to 10 meter long alloy wire like manganese or constant. 4 to 10 meter long alloy wire like manganese or constant. Some copper strips, CU strips, thick copper strips, and then after this is the fourth one, source of EMF means auxiliary battery, source of EMF, then rheostat means variable resistance, some keys, right, voltmeter, ammeter, like that, etc. So these are the essential things are required for the construction of the for the construction of the potentiometer. So here construction you see wooden board means suppose this is one wooden board. This is what a wooden board that we are taking, and on this wooden board we are fixing the copper, thick copper strip. Suppose this is the one copper strip. Scale is also there. This is the one copper strip, thick copper strip, and it is having one knob, right? And then after this is the another copper strip. This is we are having. Suppose this is having the two knobs, right? And the distance between this knob to this knob, suppose this is the 1 meter, or this is simply 100 centimeter. Means from 0, or suppose this is the point A, and then this is what this point. This is what 100 centimeter or 1 meter. So what we are written, 4 to 10 meter long alloy wire means magnet or constant and wire is required for making the potentiometer. If you are increasing the length of the wire, with respect to that, the sensitivity of potentiometer, this is the increases, right? Then this is another, from this point you have to attach the wire, again 100 centimeter wire means here again this is the one thick copper strip is there, and here it is having the two knobs. Now this is the 200 centimeter, and here one scale is there of 1 meter. This is the scale, suppose from 0 to 100 centimeter, right? Then in this side again we are using the copper strip, thick copper strip, like that. Two knobs are there. Then this is again this is, so here this is the 300 centimeter, right? And then this is, suppose this is the copper strip, it is having one knob, so this is, right? Here suppose this is another point, this is the P, and here this is the 400 centimeter, right? So this one potentiometer we are making, which is having 4 meter of our wire or 400 centimeter, right? Then here at this point or at this knob we are going to connect one ammeter. Suppose this is the meter, and this is the negative terminal of ammeter, and then after this is the positive terminal of ammeter, right? And then after this is ammeter is connected to the auxiliary means source of EMF, means suppose this is the battery is there, right? And then this battery is connected with the variable resistance, means this is the rheostat RH. Then this rheostat is connected, suppose this is the one key is there, and then this is connected with this pointer B, right? And again this point is connected with one, this is the suppose voltmeter, and this another portion of this voltmeter it is connected with the, suppose this is what, jockey. Jockey means simply it is slide over these wires, right? So this is the construction of the potentiometer. After that we are going to discuss applications of the potentiometer, right? So next topic, applications of potentiometer. Applications of potentiometer, right? What is the applications of the potentiometer? First one, to compare the EMFs of two cells having different EMFs, right? So this is the our topic is there. This is the first application of the potentiometer to compare the EMFs of the two cells, right? So you have to make the potentiometer. Suppose this is the your wooden board, and then after this is one, and then after this is the wire. Here this is this portion. This is the 200, and then after this is the 300, and then after suppose this is the 400 centimeter wire. Here we are using, right? This is the 100 centimeter. This is the 200 centimeter. This is the 300 centimeter, and then after this is the 400 centimeter, right? And then this point, suppose this is A, and then after this is the B. This point A is connected with the meter, and then after this is the auxiliary battery for continuous supply of the electric current, and then after rheostat, and here this is the key, right? And then after this is the connected with B, right? So here you have to see, suppose we want to compare the EMF of two cells in lab. Practically in general we are getting the two cells, one Daniell cell and then after second one Leclanché cell for comparison of the EMF of both the cells, right? So here you have to see, suppose we are having the two cells, first of EMF E1 and second this is what EMF, this is the E2, and the positive terminal of both the cells that is connected to point A means suppose this is the one cell here, and then after this is the another cell, right? So positive terminal of both the cells, suppose EMF of this is E1 and EMF of this is what E2, so both are connected with positive terminal of both the cells with connected with the point A, means positive terminal of this auxiliary battery, right? Then here we are using the two-way key. In general, in Ohm's law we are using the one-way key, but here we are using the two-way key. Two-way key means it is having the total 5 knobs are there. This is the one, and with the help of this it is connected to the negative terminal, and then this is the another, and negative terminal of this is connected to this. This is the two-way key, and then this is the middle, right? This middle is connected with the galvanometer, and another this is connected to the resistance box, and here you have to see this is the one plug. In that we can insert the key, and then after this is the another plug. Here we can insert the key. This is the two-way key, right? So this one end of galvanometer it is connected to this point, and another end of galvanometer it is connected with the resistance box. It is having the support end, and this is the RB resistance box, and another end of this resistance box it is connected with the this jockey. So this is the complete circuit diagram for comparison of the EMF of two cells, means this and this. Now how we can compare the EMF of cell, right? So here you have to see, when this key is closed, then here you have to see the constant current is flowing in this potentiometer. This is the first one, and here you have to see no cell is introduced, right? Then what we are going to do that, so when we are closing this, continuous or constant current is flowing in that. Now after that what we are getting, that we are going to close this key, close. When we are going to close this, then what happens, E1 cell this is introduced in the circuit, and then after you have to take the suitable high resistance from this resistance box, right? This is, so when we are taking out the high resistance from this resistance box, and we introduced this cell by closing this, then you have to slide this jockey over this wire, and suppose at any point we are getting that galvanometer shows, suppose this is the here this is the L1 length is there, here this is the scale is there in that. So here you have to see that again you have to see that when we are introducing this cell E1 by closing this key, and we are taking out the suitable resistance from resistance box, you have to slide this jockey from A2 in this side. Then suppose L1 is the length where galvanometer shows no deflection, right? So in that case what we are finding that E1 directly proportional to what? Length L1, or we can say that E1 this is equal to K L1, where K this is the potential, K this is the potential gradient, potential gradient. This is the first one, suppose this is the equation 1. Now after that in second step what we are going to do that you have to open this, you have to what? Open this, and for the same process, same for the same resistance what we are taking from that resistance box. Now you have to close this one, this is open. Now cell E2 this is introduced, and now suppose balancing length, this is the changes. Suppose in this case now this here we are getting, this is distance, suppose this is the L1, this is the balancing, oh sorry, this is the L2, this is the balancing length. Now again same thing is there for the second, this is the for first cell, for first cell means for first cell, and for second cell which is P2, for second cell here up to see, suppose L2 this is the balancing length, so E2 this is equal to K L2, that we can write here, this is the 2, right? Now this is over, you have to divide 1 by 2, then what we will get? E1 upon E2 this is equal to K L1 upon, this is the K L2, this is the cancel out, so L1 upon L2, right? So what we are getting that, this we are getting that E1 upon E2, this is the L1 upon L2. So both length we are L1 upon L2. So both length we are knowing that by this one. So when here we are putting both lengths, then this will be what? One constant number we are getting that. So easily we can multiply by this E1 equal to sometime the, or we can write E1 this equal to L1 upon L2. This is what? E2. Now condition is that if this ratio L1 upon L2 this is less than 1, this is the less than 1, then if this is the less than 1, suppose this is what we are getting that, suppose 0.8 we are getting that, then what we will get, this is the for example, so E1 like that 0.8 E2 means in that case E1 this is the 0.8 times E2 means E1 this is the less than E2. So this condition is there कि if L1 upon L2 means ratio of both the lengths is less than 1, then what we will get? E1 this is the less than what? E2. Second condition, if L1 upon L2 this is the greater than 1 means this thing, this is the greater than 1, suppose 1.1, 1.2 like that we are getting that. In that case E1 this is the greater than E2, right? These two conditions are there. Here have to see this is the next application of the potentiometer. This is the second, to find internal resistance of cell, right? Means with the help of potentiometer we can find out the internal resistance of given cell. For that circuit diagram you have to see, suppose this is the wooden board, and on this wooden board we are stretching the wires with the help of the copper strip. Suppose this is the 100 centimeter from point A, and then after this is the thick strip is there, it is having the two knob, and then again we are stretching the wire. Again here suppose this is the copper strip, it is having the two knobs, and then this is also having the two knobs, and then this is the last one copper strip, it is having only one knob, right? So 400 centimeter or 4 meter potential meter here we are going to use. This is the 200 from this point to this point, this is the 200 centimeter, and then this is the 300 centimeter, right? Now, and suppose this point B. So point A is connected, first it is connected to the, suppose this is the ammeter, and then the positive terminal of this ammeter, it is connected with the positive terminal of the battery, and then the negative terminal of battery we are going to connect with the rheostat, means variable resistance RH, and then after this is connected with the key. Suppose this is the K1 first key, and then this is connected with this point B. Now for internal resistance, you have to take one connecting wire, and then with the help of this connecting wire you have to connect the positive terminal of the given cell. Suppose internal resistance this is R, then with parallel you have to connect with one resistance box RP, and then another key, suppose this is the K2, and then this is connected with the this is the galvanometer, and another end of the galvanometer it is connected with the jockey. This is what jockey. So this is the complete circuit diagram related with the internal resistance of the cell. For in first step, what we are going to do, that you have to introduce or you have to close this first key, means K1, to close K1. So here you have to see this is introduced in this circuit, and the current is flowing. Now with the help of this jockey you have to find out the balance point by sliding this jockey over this wire. Suppose the balancing length in this case, suppose this is the point O is there where we are getting the balance point. Suppose this distance from this one, this is what L1. So when this K1 is closed, this L1 is the balancing length. So we can write E1, this is equal to K L1, this is the first one. Now after this equation 1, what we are going to do, that now you have to close this K2 also. Now close K2 and take out any resistance from this resistance box, and take out suitable resistance from resistance box. Right? We are taking out the suitable resistance from this resistance box. Then what happens? Again, you have to slide this jockey over this wire, and you have to calculate the potential difference. Suppose in this case, suppose here this is the EL2, this is the balancing length. In first case we are calculated the EMF, right? And then in second case we are finding the terminal potential difference. So this balancing length, this is the small in comparison to L1, and the reason is that because the EMF of cell this is the greater than the potential difference, right? So V this is equal to, we are going to write K L2. Suppose this L2, this is the balancing length, means where galvanometer shows no deflection. Suppose here this is the 2. Now you have to divide, and you know K this is what a potential gradient. K this is what potential gradient. This is. So you have to divide 1 by 2. So when you are going to divide, what will get? Here only E is there. Simply this is the E, right? So this is the E upon V. This is equal to K L1 upon K L2. This is the cancel out. So what we will get? E upon V. This is equal to L1 upon L2. Now after that you have to use what? Ohm's law. So by Ohm's law, what we will get? V equal to I here. R, this is the resistance we are taken from that resistance box, and E, this is equal to I, and then total resistance R, and then internal resistance of cell, this is what? Small r, right? So all the values here have to keep. I, capital R plus small r, IR, and then L1 upon L2, this is the cancel out. So what we are getting, that R plus R upon R, this is equal to L1 upon L2. So separate that. So here I have to see. Now after this one here, separate that. R by R plus R upon R, this is the L1 upon L2, this is the cancel out. So what we will get? 1 plus R upon R, this is the L1 upon L2. So R upon R, this is the L1 upon L2, and here minus 1. We want to find out what is small r. So this we can write R, this is the capital R, and then L1 minus L2 upon L2, that L2 we are taking the LCM. So this is the formula for calculation of the internal resistance of a cell, right? So R that we are taken out from resistance box, you know, and L1 and L2 we are also knowing that from this one length, so easily we can calculate the internal resistance of a cell.